Over the past few years, Instagram Stories has become one of the most important surfaces on Instagram. I'm going to be touring you around the native Instagram Stories editor, including how to film and upload your content, also how to edit your content, and at the end, I'm going to be sharing how to not only share it to your main stories, but how to leverage close friends as a business owner. So let's dive right on in. If we haven't met before, I'm Natasha. I'm a video coach, and I am obsessed with all of the Instagram video services, specifically Instagram Stories. So first things first, I'm going to show you exactly how to find your Instagram Stories. There's two main ways. So if you're on the home screen of Instagram and you swipe to your right, you then will get direct access to your Instagram Stories. And make sure at the bottom that it's on story, not reel, not live, on story. And another way you can do this is by pressing the plus icon and you'll see the option of Instagram Stories. So those are the two ways to get to stories. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to create your Instagram Stories content. So you can either film it natively within Instagram Stories, or you can upload content from your camera roll. This can be photos or video content. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a camera roll icon, and this is where you'll be able to access your entire camera roll. So just go to that camera roll. You'll also see a select option in the upper right-hand corner where you can select up to 10 different pieces of content, photos, videos, to upload in bulk. So this kind of saves you time so you don't have to keep going back to upload more stories content. Then when you want to upload that content, just go to the next button, and then you have all of the content you chose to upload that you can start editing. Just a note, when you see me doing this tour in Instagram Stories, I actually have a test feature for 60-second stories, but normally an Instagram story is up to 15 seconds long. Let's say you want to upload a clip from your camera roll to stories, but it's over that 15-second mark. What you can do is select it, and then you'll see the ability to trim it just like you would on Instagram Reels. So drag the beginning and end of that trim option to choose what you actually want to upload to Instagram Stories, and then press done to be taken to the main editor. So if you want to natively record your Instagram Stories, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite features to use. So on the left side of your Stories editor, you'll see a few options. First, we have the boomerang option. So this is where you essentially are creating a very short video that is going to repeat or boomerang in kind of a loop format. So this is really great for kind of adding visual interest to your Instagram Stories. So all you need to do is select that boomerang effect. You'll see the center button on Instagram Stories, and that's exactly where you're going to want to go to create those native stories. So if I tap this, I can then do my little boomerang. And of course, you can kind of play around with this. If you tap the boomerang icon at the top, you can actually edit how fast it is, where the boomerang actually starts. So this is a really fun way to add visual interest to your Instagram Stories. Now I'm going to show you how, let's say you want to do talking to camera Instagram Stories. What you can do is you can hold up your phone, you can hold down the center button, and you can start recording your Instagram Stories just like this. And as you can see, there's going to be essentially a little built-in timer to show you when you're getting to the end of that specific story slides and moving on to the next one. So I kind of like to watch this when I'm talking so I know when I want to wrap up what I'm saying. Another option is if you don't want to hold up your phone and have to hold down that record icon, what you can do is you can actually go to hands-free. So essentially what it will do is it will just automatically start recording your content without you having to press down the button. So you just press down that center icon, and then you can start recording your Instagram Stories like normal. Or what you can also do is hold down that center icon when you're on hands-free, and it'll actually start a 3-second timer. So you can kind of step away and then start doing your Instagram Stories. Another option that you have on Instagram Stories are actually AR filters. These are really fun effects that you can use on your stories if you're wanting to do something cool like a green screen, or if you're wanting to just add a certain aesthetic. Maybe you want your stories to be a little brighter, a little warmer, and this is a really great way to brand your Instagram Stories. I definitely recommend watching how these filters affect and distort your face, because a lot of them will change your nose, your lips, and we want them to be as as natural as possible while still adding that extra little effect. So if you start to swipe from left to right, you'll start to see some filters that you have saved. And you'll be able to then select that filter. Some of them come with a few different color options for you to choose from. And by selecting the name of the filter, this is where you'll be able to save or unsave the effect, where you'll be able to share it, or this is also where you'll be able to look for more filter options. By going to Browse Effect Gallery, this is where you can search and discover new AR filters. So this is a really fun way to brand your stories. One of my favorite AR filters is actually the green screen option. So just start to type in green screen and you'll see the green screen option. So then you have the option to save it, or you can try it right there in the moment. So if I want to add some media to the back of this, I will just select add. And then I can essentially pinch down to move where my little green screen version of myself is. And this is a really great way of maybe you're wanting to show a product, you're wanting to break down a sales page, give some visual examples. There's so many creative ways you can use this type of AR filter. So now that you've either uploaded your content for Instagram stories, or you've started to film your Instagram story slides using Boomerang, taking photos, or even using hands-free or just holding down the camera, now it's time to edit your stories. There are so many great tools that you can use right within the native stories editor. There's so many great apps you can download. I love Unfold, Mojo, Canva, but honestly, I do most of my stories editing right natively within the app because it's quick, it's easy, and it looks and feels like a story, which means it's gonna resonate and connect with your audience a lot better. So first, let's start with the text option. So in the upper left-hand corner of your Instagram stories, you'll see all of the fun editing features, and I'm going to select the text icon. So at the top, you'll see a few different ways that you can edit your text. So essentially you can type in your text and this is where you can start to customize it. So first of all, you can change the alignment of your text. So maybe you want it to be centered or you want it to be right or left aligned. So that's one option. You also can change the color. So there's going to be a few different colors that Instagram will give you to choose from, but also you can use the color dropper to choose something from the photo or video you uploaded, or you can also just upload your own assets and choose the color dropper then, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a little second. You also have the option to animate your text. So by tapping the animate icon, you can essentially play around with the different animations. Every single text style has a different animation. So let's actually go to our text styles. As you can see, there's so many great text, and what I really recommend is choosing 1 to 2 styles or fonts and sticking to that. This is gonna kind of create a brand aesthetic on Instagram stories. So once you choose your text, you can kind of play around with the different animations. This is a really fun way to build more engagement and retention and kind of bring people's focus to the text that you're adding. So once you're done with your text, you can essentially change the size of it by dragging it on the side, press done, and then you can also just move it around. And as you see, whenever you move a sticker or text around on Instagram stories, you'll see these blue lines start to come up, just so you essentially where you want to recommend keeping your stories. You want to make sure they're not too high, not too low, and also not too far to the left or right, because that's actually where people will be navigating forward and back on your stories. So try to keep them as centered on the screen as possible. But just by dragging it to the middle, you'll be able to see, okay, that's the middle of the screen to make sure that everything is really balanced. Okay, now let's start adding some fun Instagram stories stickers. So when I go to the sticker option, this is where you'll see so many types of stickers, and they are constantly adding, removing, and updating these sticker options. So definitely go on your own phone and see what you have access to, but I'm gonna show you how to use a few of the most popular Instagram stories stickers. First, we have closed captions. So by tapping the closed captions, it'll automatically start to transcribe your audio. This is a really great way to not only make your content more accessible, but also to boost engagement, because sometimes people just aren't listening with the sound on. But really important here is use the text and the captions together. Use text to summarize what you're essentially talking about in that story slide, but then use the transcriptions of the actual closed captions captions to give all the information about what you're saying. Just like with text, there's a few different text styles that you can choose from when adding on your text. You also can add on a background by tapping the background icon and change the color of your text as well. Now let's talk a little bit more about engagement stickers. And if you've been on my channel before, you know that I love engagement stickers on stories for really increasing your engagement and telling Instagram this is really great stories content. So it's gonna prioritize it in your followers' stories feeds. One of my favorites is the question sticker. So by adding the question sticker, you can change the question, the prompt, the phrase that you want to encourage people to use. And at the top, you can also change the color of the sticker. Then we have one of the newer stickers, which is a reaction sticker. And it's very similar to the slider poll, but essentially people just need to tap it to engage with that emoji. So what you can essentially do is press the plus sign to literally choose any emoji you'd like and add it onto that reaction sticker. So for example, if I'm sharing my matcha for the day, I might have the little matcha icon as the reaction sticker icon. Then we have GIFs from Jiffy. This is a really great way to add some animation and visual interest to your stories. The things that I find I use the most common is arrows. So I will just type in arrows. I find this is typically what I use. If I'm trying to tell people where I want them to tap, where I want them to click, maybe I'm using a button, for example, this is where I like to use an arrow. So really just search what you visually want to add to your story slide and it'll start to generate some options from Jiffy. Then we have the poll sticker, which is also quite similar to the quiz sticker. So for the poll sticker, it's more for polling your audience and getting a percentage on what people are thinking, but the quiz sticker is actually for quizzing them. So there's one right answer and the rest are incorrect. So if I go to poll, I essentially can add a prompt. This is totally optional. It'll just remove it if you don't want to add it. And then you can add in a few different options. So maybe you're having them pick products, you're having them share their opinions on something, or you're having them vote on the content you're sharing that day. You also can change the color of this sticker as well. And once you add your sticker, you can essentially drag and drop it to change the size. You can center it, you can move it around in your screen. So you can customize it just like you could with the text on stories. And one of my favorite stickers is the link sticker. This is where you can essentially share a link outside of Instagram to your stories for people to go to. So a product, a blog post, whatever it is. So essentially just add in your URL. It's actually really handy to have a note with all of your most shared links so you can easily just copy and paste it. And then you want to customize what is the action that they're taking or what is the link that they're going to. So maybe say, tune into this YouTube video, buy this product, check out my services. So kind of give some more details there. And once you press done, you then can add that link sticker that people can tap and go to. So essentially what you can do is you can just tap it to change the color of it, move it around, center it just like any other sticker. Another way to add products to your stories is actually using the product sticker. So whether you have your own shop set up or you want to link your own favorite products, just search the shop that you're looking for. So I'm gonna search Gold, which is my favorite matcha brand. And so by tapping that shop, I'll actually be able to see all of their products. So I can easily select whatever I want to include, press done, and then I will be able to link it to the story, customize it, and everything like that. This really makes converting your followers on stories so much easier. Then we have the music sticker. So I have found that Instagram is not very consistent with who gets access to certain type of music. If you don't have access to the full music library, you can try playing around with your account type, like creator versus business account, or also your account category. So when you go to the music icon, you'll be able to see music that you've saved, maybe from Reels, under the saved icon. You'll also be able to just see music that is recommended to you based on what you like to use and listen to on Instagram stories. And you'll be able to browse different songs or essentially just search any songs or artists that you want to use on your Instagram stories. Another little hack that you might not really know when it comes to music is you'll see that there's a few different dots on the actual timeline of the song. And by selecting those different dots, that actually shows what are popular start times for the music that you're adding. So this is a really great way to find the perfect place to add onto your Instagram story. So just tap those little dots. You also can have the lyrics on the screen. I typically find I don't want the lyrics on the screen. So what I essentially do, another little music hack, is essentially just swipe the actual sticker off the screen. It still will work and apply music to your story. It won't be in the way of any of the other elements that you're adding to your stories. A few other stickers that I like to do is the countdown sticker. So you essentially can create an event that you want to count down. So just add the countdown name. So maybe it's a launch, and then add in the actual date and time. You can have it be something that's all day. So when it turns that day that they are notified once they tap that countdown sticker, or you can actually choose a specific time, like maybe for a product drop, for example. And you can change the color of this as well. Another sticker that you'll actually have access to is the scheduled sticker. I've done an entire video where I'm breaking down this new feature where you can essentially add reminders to your posts, and you can schedule Instagram Lives. Those are both different events that you can have. And what you can do is you can actually add those as stickers to your stories, but you have to make sure to create the events first. So that means either scheduling the live or creating that reminder in your feed post. Then you'll be able to add it onto your stories. One last sticker I want to show you is actually the camera roll sticker. So essentially what you can do is you can choose a photo or image that you want to put on top of your story slide. You can do this the old-fashioned way by copying and paste it from your camera roll, but this makes it so much easier. So essentially choose the camera roll icon and then select whatever it is that you want to add onto your story slide. What I recommend is actually creating an Instagram assets folder on your camera roll where you'll have any logos, any special icons, and even your branded colors, so you can easily add those to your Instagram story slides. So for example, if I'm talking about my signature program or a webinar that I'm promoting, I can essentially put on that logo right onto my slide. And if you tap that image, you can change the shape of it, and I can move it around, center it, and rearrange it exactly how I'd like to. And if you've ever wondered, how do people get the text the exact color as their brand colors? This is where it's important to have in your assets folder all of your branded colors. So when you're adding text, you can essentially use that color dropper and choose your exact branded color. And then all you have to do is hold it down and delete it at the bottom of your Instagram story. And one of the last editing features that I'm going to mention is actually the pen or draw tool. So there's a lot of fun ways that you can actually use this. You can of course use this to draw things, underline things, doodle, have some fun. But I'm actually going to show you 2 hacks for essentially adding all over color to your story slide. So essentially, first you want to choose the actual pen you want to use and the color you want it to be. And all you have to do is tap and hold on your Instagram story slide, and it will add the color to the entire screen. This is a really easy way if you're just wanting to add text to an Instagram story on maybe like a static photo. You can automatically make it all one color and easily edit as needed. Another option for this is you can actually choose the marker tool, and this will give you a transparent all over color. So you can get really creative. You can even choose the eraser icon and kind of erase a section of the video or photo that you're showing. There's so many fun ways you can use this pen tool. You also have an arrow pen. So essentially when you start drawing it, the end of it will be an arrow. So you can use it to point to different things on the story. I want to give you a few options, and let's say you're editing together your Instagram stories, but maybe you're not ready to publish it just yet, or you want to save it for later. Just go to those 3 dots in the corner and select save. This will then save that story to your actual camera roll, and then you can add any interactive story stickers afterwards. Another way is by tapping the back arrow to discard your story. This is an easy way to just get rid of your progress if you want by tapping discard, or you can actually save it as a draft. Keep in mind that your drafts do expire after 7 days, and what I've overall noticed is that sometimes they don't save absolutely perfectly. Like the text might be a little different, or might need to add the captions in again, but it still is a nice option to have so you don't have to completely start from scratch if maybe you're not ready to publish your stories. And the final step to share your Instagram stories is to share it to your stories. So at the bottom, you'll see your share to stories option. So just tap that and it'll automatically add it to your story. Or you can tap that next arrow icon to share to your story. Or you can always share it to close friends, which is where my bonus tip on using close friends as a business owner is gonna come in. So Close Friends was created to help you share exclusive Instagram stories just to your friends. So maybe you don't wanna share your stories to everyone on Instagram, but just to the people that you love and trust the most. But when it comes to using this as business owners, this is a really great way to take maybe your clients or your most engaged followers and warmest leads and curate stories just for them. The key here is to essentially use this like you would regular Instagram stories, but use it for exclusive content. So let's say you're sharing a mini training or some tips on your stories. You're gonna dive a little bit deeper for close friends. So let's say you're sharing a day in the life on your stories. You're gonna give them exclusive behind the scenes that you haven't shared anywhere else for your close friends. I found this is a really great way to really build deeper relationships with your most engaged story followers, but also not cluttering up the rest of your stories by posting a ton of stories content every day. You also can use these very strategically for promotions, for wait lists, for early access to products, or even discounts on your offers. Adding people to your close friends is really easy. What you want to first do is just announce your close friends list and what you're going to be sharing on there. And I like to actually use the reaction stickers so people can easily tap it and you know exactly what accounts to add to close friends, because right now you do have to do this manually. But when you go to the 3-line drop down on your Instagram profile, you will see a close friends icon where essentially you can just search the usernames of the people you want to add to your close friends list. You don't need to follow them to do this. So all of the tools and features that I shared already on Instagram stories, you can use for sharing content to your main Instagram stories feed, or you can share it as exclusive content to close friends. So definitely let me know if you want a more in-depth case study or video with some ideas on how to use close friends with your main story strategy. And that is your in-depth tour on exactly how to film, create, upload, and edit your Instagram stories. I highly recommend pulling out your phone and starting to play around with all these features yourself so you can start to incorporate them into your stories content. Be sure to tune into this Reels tutorial where I do a deep dive in exactly how I batch, edit, and create my Instagram Reels. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.